watching WKYT News at noon.
Welcome into WKYT News at 12:30. Andrea Walker and Bill Bryant reporting.
Good to have you with us. Leading our news, the Valley View Ferry remains closed here at midday. Investigators are searching for human remains. It all started over the weekend as a training exercise. WKYT's Hillary Thornton has been tracking the investigation. She's joining us now with our top story at 12:30. Hillary.
The Valley View Ferry is closed for the rest of the day. Dive teams searching the area of the river right behind me here at the approach for that ferry. This search going on after what the coroner believes to be human remains were found over the weekend.
Who it is, we don't know, and there's a lot more examination that has to go on.
A lot left in this investigation, but Coroner Gary Ginn confident the remains found are human. He says it started with a training exercise for the fire department. On Saturday, dive teams retrieving vehicles found dumped in the river near the Valley View Ferry.
They brought up one of the vehicles. It split in two, so they only got about half of it, and it had been in the water for an extended period of time.
In that half brought up investigators finding what they believe to be human bones. Today back in the water working with zero visibility, trying to retrieve the other half of the vehicle and see if any more remains are found. Ginn says they believe these bones have been in the water for an extended period of time. He says because of that, there is a chance they will not be able to find any DNA. In Fayette County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And Ginn says they are not sure if the remains are associated with the vehicle that they were found in at this point, and that's because he says they could have drifted there from upstream. So a lot of uncertainty and more investigating is warranted there. We have learned the name of the woman involved in a standoff with Lexington police. Police say Robin Holbert is facing several charges, including fleeing and evading police and wanton endangerment. Police say the standoff started after Holbert pulled a gun on them during a traffic stop on Versailles Road. Police were forced to close down the road as a precaution. After several hours, Holbert did surrender, and the standoff ended peacefully.
Knott County Sheriff's deputies have arrested a 19-year-old after they say the high school student tried to attack his principal. That principal is now opening up this afternoon. Michelle Chamberlain is at our live desk with more.
Yeah, that Eastern Kentucky high school principal is speaking after a scary moment for him and other students at Cordia High School. One student is in jail today after police say he tried to attack his principal while high on drugs.
Anytime you encounter a situation like this, it can go bad quick.
Cordia High School principal Jonathan Mullins said Brendan Neese got high on prescription pills while at school. Mullins says the student wasn't talking clearly and could barely hold up his head, so he knew something was wrong. Mullins separated Neese from the other students until help arrived. Once the Knott County Sheriff's deputies got there, they subdued Neese after they say he tried to attack his own principal.
I got to thinking he could have been my son, so I wanted to protect him too. That was my #1 goal, after making sure everybody was safe, was also his safety.
Deputies say when they got there, Neese had pill residue up his nose and they found prescription pills in his possession. School officials say a juvenile female student ended up at UK Hospital after taking drugs. Officers suspect Neese gave her the pills. She is expected to be okay. Neese faces 7 charges, including resisting arrest, public intoxication, and 3 counts of possessing a controlled substance. Live in the newsroom, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. Neese is scheduled to be back in court November 1st.
A Garrett County teacher has been suspended after police say he overdosed on heroin on his way to school. First responders found Stephen Grubbs unconscious after he crashed his car into some trees and bushes. An officer says Narcan was used to revive him. Police say this is Grubbs' 3rd DUI charge in less than 10 years. The acting superintendent for Garrett County Schools says Grubbs is suspended with pay pending further investigation. Well, the heat is on the Department of Defense to resolve the controversy surrounding the California National Guard's collection of re-enlistment bonuses that were given out years ago.
The Pentagon says about 6,500 California Guard soldiers have been told to repay $15,000 or more, including Robert Richmond, who served years in the Army and survived a roadside bomb in Iraq. Roxana Sabiria has the story.
Robert Richmond was stunned to get a letter from California's National Guard telling him to pay back a $15,000 bonus it gave him to re-enlist years earlier.
As it sank in, it just felt like betrayal.
He's one of thousands of soldiers ordered to repay re-enlistment bonuses and student loans after audits revealed the California National Guard overpaid them.
Even if they felt they had a legal right to this money, it's just a horrible thing to even consider doing.
Secretary of Defense Ash Carter says the issue is complicated.
Anybody who volunteers to serve in the Armed Forces of the United States deserves our gratitude and respect. Period. And we are going to look into it and resolve it.
The White House has ordered the Pentagon to speed up the review, and a bill in Congress could limit or stop the military's ability to recover overpayments. House Speaker Paul Ryan says the soldiers earned more than bureaucratic bungling and false promises, and he called on the Pentagon to stop trying to collect the money until Congress has time to protect service members from lifelong liability for DOD's mistakes.
It is irony. It's after 30 years of fighting battles for the United States Army, I mean, my final battle is fighting against them.
Richmond agrees and says soldiers shouldn't be punished for mistakes by their superiors. Roxana Saberi for CBS News.
Other states may have been affected, but the National Guard Bureau says California is where the majority of this occurred. Robert has started a petition on change.org asking the president to stop the Army from, quote, stealing back signing bonuses. That petition already has 70,000 signatures. Well, stay with us on WKYT News, your news leader. We have more coming up.
Coming up, we'll talk with UK basketball legend, and we'll get some tips from our girl, the Frugal.
We have a front on the way, and once it rolls on through, that'll bring us some scattered showers into the day tomorrow. We're going to go over the timing, how much rain you can expect, and if we have the good last days of Keeneland. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
A lot of blue skies really anywhere you look outside. It's an awesome looking day. Some of us still a little bit on the cool side, far northern Kentucky, but others of us, central, southern zones, that look good and feel great. The rest of the afternoon, virtually all of us will be there in the 70s. Moorhead looks just fine. Jackson looking good over in Breathitt County. Frankfort coming in. The capital city, you are looking at 421 and Main Street, the interchange there, and I don't see any problems whatsoever. Down toward Corbin, London, Williamsburg, all looks well down south as well. Obviously, a lot of the flow coming in from the southwest. Check those temperatures out. That's really nice. Monticello 71. Now Lexington at 64. The update before this, just an hour before that, hour and a half before that, we're actually in the 50s, mid 50s. So it jumped about 8 to 10 degrees. The reason being is because of that warm air rushing northbound. So you in the northern zones, just hold tight. It's heading your direction. Let's go overnight and into tomorrow. The clouds will be on the increase, and that front gets a little bit closer. I would say the timing on this rain, and obviously you can see it's bits and pieces here and there, and none of this is going to wash out anything that you have going on. Very light rain, and showers will basically be the element that we have, not so much thunderstorms. I'd say they start off anywhere from about 4 a.m. to about 8 a.m., and then they slide on through as we go through the day with that front. But I do want you to pay attention to this. It's another day where southern zone will actually be much cooler than the northern zones. Sitting there in the upper 60s, lower 70s down south, the rain starts to push on through, and once that happens, here comes that cooler air ushering back behind that. So then we're talking about roughly 70 degrees in Williamsburg, 55 in Covington, 59 in Frankfort. This is at 5 p.m. tomorrow. So obviously cooler air rushes in as we go throughout your day. You will absolutely feel it later on in the afternoons. Off towards your evening hours, the rain's long gone, cooler air settles on in, and it actually looks like a pretty good Friday and Saturday. Don't forget this. These are the last days, last 3 days, well, 4 days actually. Today's really nice out at Keeneland. Thursday, not so much, much cooler, and also with that rain chance. But then Friday looks good. Saturday will be the perfect last day at 75 degrees. I don't see any problems whatsoever. Shower 2 tomorrow, don't forget about that. And Saturday, Sunday look great. Off towards your Halloween, guys, I don't see any problems there on Halloween. 73 degrees, and it looks like we'll have a little wind to go along with that. So pretty much a really, really nice day for Halloween.
Okay, so that works out. Thank you very much, Micah. A former UK legend is joining the UK radio network.
And we are so happy to be joined today by Rex Chapman to talk more about it.
There he is.
How you doing
Good
today?
to see you.
Great. Happy to be here. Where's Barbara?
I know.
Where's Barbara?
I'm sorry. I'm sure she misses you.
I miss Barbara.
She heard you were
I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you.
No, she heard you were coming. And
Yeah, I'm sure. Typical Barbara.
Uh-oh.
Rex, what does it mean to you to be joining this the UK Radio Network, and you're going to be a regular for folks?
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I really am. This opportunity, Paul Archie at JMI and Cal and the people at UK have just been fantastic, and I couldn't be more excited, really. I came here a long time ago and was very excited about that, but I don't know if it's any more than I am right now. It's just good to be back around the program and around so many people
Well,
I know.
I'm sure few people have the perspective that you bring to this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I played. I grew up, born and raised in the state, so I'm a Kentucky guy, and gosh, we don't have many Kentucky kids anymore that actually end up actually play here.
Sure.
You know, that don't just come and kind of hang out.
Yeah,
for 4 years.
and you played in the NBA, so
yeah.
you have that. You know what so many of those kids are trying to set. As
And
their
you
goal.
know, for different circumstances, I guess I left school early. You know, I think we had one other player that had done that prior to my doing so. It was Tom Payne, and that was in the 70s. So I left early, and you know, so I've got that experience as well, and that's really. But it was a big uproar when I left in the 80s. They were mad at me. Now we're already pushing them out the door before they even get here. We're good. 1 year. Good luck. Not me.
What do you think about that? Huh? Your first controversial question.
I love it because we do it better than anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the truth.
That's why I love it. But it's different. You know, we used to have guys, most players stayed in school 3 or 4 years. Now, you know, the better ones are there for a year. The really good ones are there for a year, maybe 2. It's just different now.
You're living out in L.A., but you told us you're going to try to come in as often as you can, right?
I am. Going to try to get back here, especially all the big games, and I want to be on site as much as I can and get to know the players better, so I know them inside and out, not just what they can do on the court. But you know, we always have to remember with these Kentucky players, they're kids, and there's a lot of pressure on them. It's a great place to be, the best place to be. But it isn't for everybody, and you're in a fishbowl. And at times, you know, people see these players out at restaurants and whatnot. You don't know if they got a girlfriend issue or a big test the next day, and you expect them to be on, but they're 18.
Yeah.
So just keep that in
Good
mind.
perspective.
Well, we're glad to have you back here.
I'm glad to be here.
Look forward to your work
Thanks
in
for
this
having me.
new venue. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Great.
guys.
Rex Chapman, everybody. Coming next, what's around your home that could be harmful to your dog or cat?
We're talking about pet-proofing your house next.
Welcome back. Great to have you here on WKYT. Is your home poison-proof, not only for your kids, but for your pets as well?
Dr. Butch Schroyer is with the Animal Care Clinic, and he is here to tell us some things we need to consider when pet-proofing our homes. I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard of that.
Well, it's hard. It's probably more difficult than children are because they're much more active than young kids who we worry about getting the cabinets to learn. Dogs are always
tell
kids.
them really as much.
And if you tell them, they don't care. You know, if they go to the cabinet and they smell it, they'll start figuring out a way to open a cabinet up. So you can still use the children's little locks that you put on and latches to keep from getting the lower cabinets. Cats can get on the upper counters. You know, sometimes you can go to open the upper cabinet and the cat's in the upper cabinet.
That has happened to me
They
before.
learn to do that. So you can't put things up high and expect that they're going to be safe.
Right.
So it's very, very difficult. But one of the biggest things is try to go through your house and make a list of the things you know that could be a problem.
What are some of those things we should worry
Any
about?
prescription drug is a potential harmful component. You know, you're taking it for a reason. Heart medications, anti-anxiety drugs, drugs for ADD and ADHD that the kids are taking can be a problem if they get into their pets. So we want to make sure we know they're in the house and they're locked up. Dogs have mouths that'll break the bottles open if they want to get into them. So you want to get them up out of the way as much as you can, but you want to know what you have. So if they do get in it, you can at least call me and let me know what they've gotten into. Is it going to be a problem? How many did they eat? one might not be a problem, 10 could be a problem.
Now, what about foods? I know there are a lot of foods that animals aren't supposed to have.
Foods you got to watch out for. Of course, we were talking a little bit off camera about grapes and raisins. A lot of people know that can be a problem. It causes renal or kidney failure in dogs if it's right. Not all grapes are going to do it. So sometimes there's a little growth on it that leads to deposit or residue that causes problems. So you might say, I've always given my dog grapes. Well, you just playing Russian roulette.
Exactly.
The next time might be the one that gets them. So just don't do it. Onions and garlic can be a problem for us and cause renal problems. But we put garlic powder and things lots of times as seasoning on our foods. But we also sometimes when we're doing homemade diets with dogs, we may sprinkle lightly with garlic. Just don't overdo.
Quickly, we're heading toward Halloween. A lot of that candy will be around. That's probably not a good idea either. Let the dogs
It's not, and the sugar part's not a big deal. But if you start on one thing, they get this, they get that. Next thing you're eating a Milky Way and a chocolate component. And chocolate, we all know, can cause problems. But it's a relationship. Is it a dark chocolate, a bitter chocolate, a sweet chocolate, a milk chocolate? How much did they eat? A dog can get in and eat a 5-pound box of candy before you even know they're in it.
That's so true.
You and I are going. We might want to do that, but we're probably going to get full long before it hits us. The dog eats it, and then they've got it all in, and now we got a problem.
Yeah, no restraint.
We all love our pets, so it's so good to have you here with us to help us keep them safe.
Dr. Butch, thank you. LexingtonVeterinarian.com is your web address for more info and some tips. Thanks for being here.
And our
Appreciate
Facebook page.
All right, very good. Hope you'll stay with us now. We're going to find you some deals, some bargains, save you some money. The Frugal is here.
Keep it here on WKYT.
All right, this is a no Micah zone here for right now.
we have to get through
treats.
this first.
Yeah, right. Don't get tricked this Halloween. You could be in for a treat with some seasonal specials.
Now, I'm going to admit it. This is one of my favorite segments. Debbie Morris, the Frugal, is here with the details. So what kind of stuff, good stuff
Tell
do you
us
get?
some deals.
You don't have to spend a lot of money on candy for the kids. And right now, and they're all on sale. Costumes are 50% off. So right now at Rite Aid, you can get buy one, get one free. So there you go. You're already starting with the freebie here. And then at CVS, you have 2 bags here. They're on sale for 2 for $5. And there was a coupon right on top of it. So it made it down to $2, and they started at like $3.99 a piece. And when you went in there, and I always say to people, when you go in, keep your eyes open, because when I went in there, these are on sale for 99 cents, and there's a coupon right on there for $1. So basically, they were 99 cents each, but you actually got one free. So
I love
it's cool.
that.
The orange and the purple,
Actually
for
giving
Halloween.
you a penny back,
So
aren't
there
they?
you go. So that's cool.
That's really neat.
But
All
there's
right.
a lot of freebies for Halloween.
Donut and pancakes?
IHOP on Halloween day, kids can go in there and get a scary pancake.
How cute is that?
12 and under for free. And bring your kids in costume at Krispy Kreme's, and they can pick out a free donut.
But they have to be in costume, huh?
They have to be in costume for Krispy Kreme. They want them in costume.
Okay.
But that's a cool.
I can smell it from
cool
here.
day.
It smells so good, y'all.
Leftover candy. Now, what
Leftover
do you do?
candy. So there's a place, it's called Halloween Candy Buyback, and it's a couple of dentists that will take the candy, and if you go on that website, you'll see one in Lexington, one in Georgetown, and they'll give the kids like toothbrushes and stuff like that, and they send the candy to the soldiers.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So they try to do it local, send it to the local soldiers and stuff. So you kind of give them back. So you can keep a little candy, have the
Hey,
kids
that works
buy
out
it
really well.
and it's kind of cool.
The one takeaway I have from all of this today is that you really, if you wait to the last minute, in this case, you might be better off.
Yeah, well, it is
a balancing act.
It is, but like you said, I bought all my Halloween costumes for my nieces and nephews last year at 90% off. So
After Halloween.
After Halloween.
Girl, that's my trick,
that's
too.
the
I
way
love
to do
that.
it.
All right.
You can always freeze candy.
There you go. It's Debbie Morris, the Frugal, and we thank you so much for coming in. Good ideas. All right, let's check in with Mike. It looks like good trick-or-treating weather.
Really nice weather. I'll move out of the way and show you that Halloween trick-or-treating weather. 73 degrees will be the high at that time. But before that, we're looking at a pretty nice day, 73 today. Tomorrow, we'll actually see a few showers roll through starting off tomorrow morning. When a lot of us wake up, anywhere from, say, 4 a.m. to about 8 a.m. That's when they start to move on through. 66 by around noontime, so that's going to be your high temperature, but it actually falls as we go through the day. Friday looks good. The weekend looks just fine. And like I said, Halloween, I don't see any problems, guys.
Okay, really looks nice. We want to thank you for joining us for WKYT News at noon. Remind you that our next newscast is coming up at 4.
The Young and the Restless is next, followed by The Talk. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody.